Materialism versus Idealism by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The debate between materialism and idealism has been a central issue in the history of philosophy, with proponents of each position offering compelling arguments for their respective views. Materialism posits that the physical world is the fundamental reality, while idealism contends that the mind or spirit is the primary reality. Materialism is the philosophical view that the physical world, including matter and energy, is the ultimate reality. According to materialists, everything that exists can be explained in terms of physical processes and entities. This perspective has its root in ancient Greek philosophy, particularly in the atomism of Democritus and Leucippus, and has been developed and refined by thinkers such as Thomas Hobbes, Karl Marx, and contemporary philosophers of mind. One of the central arguments for materialism is based on the success of the natural sciences in explaining the workings of the physical world. The achievements of physics, chemistry and biology have provided compelling evidence for the materialist view, demonstrating how natural phenomena can be understood in terms of physical laws and principles. Materialists also point to the advances in neuroscience, which have shed light on the relationship between brain activity and mental processes, suggesting that consciousness and cognition are ultimately rooted in the physical structure and function of the brain. Furthermore, materialists argue that the concept of emergent properties can account for the complexity and diversity of phenomena in the natural world. According to this view, higher level properties and entities, such as consciousness and social structures, emerge from the interactions of simpler physical components without requiring the existence of non-physical substances or forces. This reductionist approach has been influential in shaping our understanding of the natural world and has led to significant advancements in fields such as artificial intelligence and complex systems theory. However, materialism has also faced criticism on several fronts. One of the main challenges to the materialist perspective comes from the realm of consciousness and subjective experience. Critics argue that materialism struggles to provide a satisfactory account of how mental states, qualia, and the first-person perspective can be fully explained in terms of physical processes. The so-called hard problem of consciousness, famously articulated by philosopher David Chalmers, raises doubts about whether materialism can offer a complete and coherent explanation of subjective experience. Additionally, materialism has been accused of neglecting the importance of values, meaning and purpose in human life. Critics argue that reducing everything to physical processes risks overlooking the rich tapestry of human experience, including moral and aesthetic dimensions that cannot be reduced to material causes. This critique has led some philosophers to explore alternative approaches, such as non-reductive physicalism and emergent dualism, which seek to reconcile the insights of materialism with the irreducibility of certain aspects of human experience. Idealism, in contrast to materialism, asserts that the mind or consciousness is the primary reality, and that the physical world is ultimately dependent on mental phenomena. This view has been articulated by philosophers such as George Berkeley, Immanuel Kant and George Hegel, and has been influential in shaping the development of metaphysics, epistemology and the philosophy of mind. One of the key arguments for idealism is based on the nature of perception and cognition. Idealists contend that our knowledge of the world is mediated through mental representations, and that the external world is in some sense constructed or constituted by the mind. This perspective challenges the assumption of a mind-independent reality, suggesting that our experience of the world is inherently shaped by the cognitive and perceptual processes through which we engage it. Furthermore, idealists emphasize the role of consciousness in shaping the structure and content of reality. According to this view, the world as we know it is inseparable from the mental activities that give it meaning and significance. Idealism highlights the importance of concepts, categories and frameworks in organising our experience, and suggests that the nature of reality is intimately tied to the cognitive and interpretive capacities of the mind. Blavatskyan Theosophy presents a unique perspective on idealism. It emphasises the existence of a spiritual realm beyond the physical world, asserting that ultimate reality lies in the realm of ideas and consciousness. Blavatskyan Theosophy challenges the dominant materialistic worldview by suggesting that the material world is merely a manifestation of higher spiritual forces. According to this perspective, the pursuit of material possessions and wealth is superficial and ultimately unfulfilling. Instead, Blavatskyan Theosophy advocates for the cultivation of spiritual knowledge and inner growth as a means to attain true enlightenment. By placing importance on the immaterial aspects of existence, this approach offers an alternative to the prevailing materialistic mindset and encourages individuals to seek deeper meaning and purpose in life. However, idealism has also faced criticism from proponents of materialism and other philosophical positions. One of the main challenges to idealism comes from the apparent solidity and stability of the physical world, which seems to resist being reduced to purely mental phenomena. Critics argue that idealism struggles to provide a satisfactory account of the independent existence of the external world, and that it risks collapsing into solipsism or scepticism about the possibility of objective knowledge. Additionally, idealism has been accused of neglecting the importance of empirical evidence and scientific inquiry in understanding the natural world. Critics argue that an excessive focus on the role of the mind in shaping reality can lead to a neglect of the objective facts and regularities that are uncovered through scientific investigation. This critique has led some philosophers to develop approaches such as critical realism and naturalized epistemology, which seek to integrate the insights of idealism with a respect for the empirical methods of science. While the debate between materialism and idealism has been a central issue in the history of philosophy, contemporary thinkers have sought to move beyond this dichotomy and explore more nuanced and integrative approaches. One such approach is the philosophy of dialectical materialism, which was developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels and has been influential in shaping critical theory, social philosophy and political thought. Dialectical materialism seeks to overcome the opposition between materialism and idealism by emphasizing the dynamic and relational nature of reality. According to this perspective, the material world is in a constant process of change and development, and is shaped by the interplay of opposing forces and contradictions. Dialectical materialism integrates the insights of materialism with a recognition of the role of consciousness, culture, and historical context in shaping social and political phenomena. Another approach that seeks to transcend the materialism-idealism dichotomy is the philosophy of process thought, which has been developed by philosophers such as Alfred North Whitehead and Charles Hartshorne. Process thought emphasizes the interconnectedness and fluidity of reality and suggests that the distinction between mind and matter is ultimately artificial and limiting. According to this perspective, the world is best understood in terms of ongoing processes and relationships, rather than as a collection of discrete material or mental entities. Furthermore, contemporary philosophy of mind has seen the emergence of non-reductive physicalism, which seeks to reconcile the insights of materialism with the irreducibility of mental phenomena. Non-reductive physicalism acknowledges the complex and multifaceted nature of consciousness and seeks to develop a more comprehensive account of the mind-body relationship that does justice to the richness of human experience. In conclusion, The debate between materialism and idealism has been a central issue in the history of philosophy, with proponents of each position offering compelling arguments for their respective views. While materialism emphasises the primacy of the physical world and the success of the natural sciences in understanding it, idealism highlights the role of the mind in shaping the structure and content of reality. However, contemporary thinkers have sought to move beyond this dichotomy and explore more nuanced and integrative approaches such as dialectical materialism, process thought and non-reductive physicalism, which seek to reconcile the insights of materialism with the irreducibility of certain aspects of human experience. This ongoing dialogue reflects the enduring significance of the materialism-idealism debate for our understanding of the nature of reality and the human condition.